Well, good day. Welcome to this edition of the Abundant Empowerment Exchange. Today, we're doing a spatial sports talk, and my special guest is Albert Amber, former college uh, quarterback, NFL, and we're going to be along with some other guests. We're going to be talking about all things sports, and we're going to start out tonight. Talking about the college football over the weekend. Over the weekend, so we had Alabama and we had Georgia. There, Rob, and I don't know. It didn't seem to be much of a game. Georgia seemed to have their way with Alabama. What are you have any thoughts on that particular game?
Yeah, it's a lot of times what I'm about to say follows the rule. Um, Georgia, Alabama played Georgia early in the season, and Alabama beat Georgia. And I just want to say that a lot of times, anytime you play a team twice, it's hard to beat them twice. The team who got beat, they really come in fired up, and 9 times out of 10, the team that lost wins the matchup the second time around. So
And
I
that's
think,
more from I'm assuming a coach's perspective. They make uh they make the necessary adjustments to make that happen.
yes, sir, yes, sir. Plus the team that got defeated, they coming into that game really, really fired up.
Yeah. Kenny, welcome in. We're talking about this past weekend. Right now, we're talking about Georgia and Alabama. Georgia pulled a 28-7 win over Alabama. And coming up in the playoff, uh, Alabama is going to be playing my Sooners. So, and I know Oklahoma beat them early in the year, so I might have to be a little bit concerned then. Uh, you know, if that's the case. You like any of those teams, Brother Kenny there, Alabama or Georgia?
Oh yeah, I like them both. I always liked Alabama back in the day, Crimson Tide, man. When they used to run the table, man. They're a good team. Both of them. Georgia's good, very good. I kind of follow my Razorbacks a little bit, Arkansas, but they don't. They're not as good as they used to be, man, 10, 12 years ago. But yeah, those teams are good. They're dynamic teams. I watch it. I watch a lot of college football and basketball as well.
Yeah, another great game this weekend with Indiana and Ohio State. Now, Rob, you played in college and the NFL, but I think that game shows how important how important each position is because the Ohio State kicker missed the field goal that would have tied the game. And it wasn't like it was 60 or 50 yards. I think he was like 30, 40 yards out. What do you think happened there? Do you think it was nerves or what was the case with that?
Well, you know what? I want to say something about that about the about that decision. Um, the coach, you know what? I don't know if he was anywhere else. He might be looking for another job because Ohio
Oh,
uh, Ohio State had the ball, and they decided to uh, throw the ball, and it was like they had 1 yard to go for a first down, and they didn't make it 2 times, and they threw the ball uh, both both times, and it was like third and one. So I think that was bad coaching. You know,
Right.
you down on the 5 yard line both times, and you going in, and you got 2nd and 1, 3rd and 1, and you're throwing the football. I mean, you got 2 plays to get 1 yard.
Yeah. And they have a decent, their running backs are pretty decent too, for Ohio State.
Yeah, yeah, their ground game has been carrying them the whole year. They had a pretty good balanced attack, you know, running and passing, but they've been running the ball good the whole year. And so to get down there twice and not not try to run the ball, to have multiple opportunities to run and get 1 yard, doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. Well, we know we have the playoff coming up. I know we have Alabama, number 9 against number 8, Oklahoma. I'm not sure if I know some of the lesser bowls have been assigned, but I haven't seen anything about like 1 through 6 or anything like that, or 1 through 7. Have either of you seen any of those assignments yet?
Well, you know, a 1, 2, 3, and 4, they have buys. They don't play. There's 12 teams in the playoffs, and number 1 is Indiana, who beat Ohio State, so they're gonna have a bye. Number 2 is Ohio State, and number three. I know
Number
number 3 is, Kenny. I know number 2 is Ohio State. Number 3.
You know what? I'm not sure. Just number
Well, I
3.
know number 4 is Texas Tech. Number 3 is
Number
Georgia.
3 would be Georgia.
Georgia is
Yep.
number 3.
Yeah,
Okay, Georgia. Okay.
Yeah, Georgia will be number 3. So you got teams 5 through 12 will play. 5 will play against 12, 6 against 11, 7 against 10, and 8 against 9. I know number 5 is Ole Miss. I'm sorry, Oregon. And number 6 is Ole Miss. And number 7 is Texas A&M. Number 8 would be Oklahoma, and number 9 is Alabama.
I had a question. What happened? I heard something. I'm not sure all the details. With Notre Dame pulling out. What's going on with that? I mean, maybe you guys know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, Notre Dame, they've been rated the whole year, and what happened is they didn't get picked to play in the playoffs. Miami replaced them at number 10, and Notre Dame didn't get picked. They're not going to the playoffs. But a lot of the teams that don't go to the playoffs, they still get selected to one of the bowl games, the Peach Bowl,
Right.
or the Citrus
Right.
Bowl. And because that they didn't get selected to go to the playoffs, they decided they're not going to go play in a bowl game.
Oh, wow.
So, a lot of people are kind of mad about that. They say, you're going to take Notre Dame, you're going to take your ball and go home. But that last spot was between Notre Dame and Miami. And a lot of times, Kenny, what they do, they go to head-to-head. And Miami beat Notre Dame this year.
Right.
So I think it was fair for Miami to go. They both had the same record, I think 10-2. But also Notre Dame didn't beat any teams that were rated.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes a difference. I understand that much, definitely. I didn't know. I just kind of heard, and I heard him talking about it, and I heard Stephen A. certain ones was chiming in, and I was trying to say, what's going on with this Notre Dame? The folks said they're not gonna be a part of. They pulling out, and I said, well, is that a coach decision or a team decision, or? I'm sure the fans don't. I'm sure the fans are not happy at all.
Yeah, they didn't pull out the playoff because they didn't get selected out of 1 of the 12, but they still was going to go to bowl
Okay.
games. They
Bowl
have
game.
they have the Rose Bowl or the El Paso, they call it the Sun Bowl or the Blue
What about
Block.
the Fiesta Bowl?
Yeah, Fiesta Bowl.
Gotcha.
But one of those bowls, the big bowls, is going to be between the playoffs, like the Orange Bowl, the Rose Bowl,
Gotcha.
the Sugar Bowl. All those bowls are going to be part of the playoff system.
Gotcha.
But some of the lesser bowls is Notre Dame said, well, we don't want to go to a lesser bowl.
Wow.
Well, welcome in, Lee.
All right.
We're talking about the college playoff. We started out talking about college football. Let me ask you all have any favorite in those that are in the playoffs? Any teams you feel that will? I know Indiana is still undefeated. Ohio State actually played really well, I thought, up until they looked unbeatable up until the last couple of games. You all have any favorites on in the playoffs?
No, I don't really. I mean, I just really don't. I was kind of looking at Ohio State because we have friends and family that lives there, and they pushes that so much. And that's kind of why I was kind of leaning at at first, kind of, but I haven't given a whole lot of thought, to who's gonna win this whole thing out.
I tell you, Elder Sanders, I'm kind of the SC guy, and then SEC conference is a real strong conference. They have 5 teams in the playoffs with Georgia, Alabama, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, and Texas A&M. And I think that's the toughest conference in football. So I think any one of those SEC teams could be an upset. I know they have Indiana and Ohio State favored to win it, but you can't throw out. I know at Oklahoma, Alabama game, the winner of that game, Oklahoma Alabama game, plays number 1 seed Indiana. So,
all right. Well, you all know
Yep.
who I'm going for. I'm actually going for the Sooners. I'm
See
not
that
sure
hat
they're
on?
strong enough. I'm used to the Sooners, the dominant Sooners. You all remember back in the day when they used to be really exciting. So, but I can
Oh
only
yeah.
I can only hope that they move on. Indiana looked pretty solid against Ohio State. So, and their coach apparently has a really good coaching record as well.
Hmm.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the NFL. We we just had a game last night, the Eagles and the Chargers. Did anyone see that game last night? Rob, did you see that?
yes, sir.
Yeah, that was what a play, they're at the end.
Yeah,
The
Yeah,
Eagles,
it's
I mean, the Chargers came out 22-19, but it was a pretty exciting game.
yeah, it was a good one. Jalen Hurts, that's the first bad ball game that I've seen them play. But that's the way it is in the NFL. All the guys, they're all pros.
Yeah.
So and
It
yeah, it was a good one. It was a good one.
was a good one. I'm
Yeah.
not used to seeing him, with that. It just seemed like all this year with the Eagles, they just seem to not have that, when they won it last year. I know it's no guarantee, but it just seemed, I mean, just wow. I don't see that it meant it's just like, seemed like everybody come up against, they struggle, they struggling, when before, they was just, they was rocking. They still, I mean, they can still win the whole thing. I mean, when you get in the playoffs, anything happen in the playoffs, but what I like about Jalen is that he had a bad, I think what he threw 3 interceptions, 4 or whatever. It was, it was ugly, But he comes up to the podium and he don't pout like some of these brothers,
Yeah.
with attitude. They really don't ain't really answering the questions, and they're doing it with with attitude, and then they bounce. And he just came up there, man, and just said, and he wasn't using no F bombs or any kind of cursing words or nothing, man. Hey, it happens, man. I mean, NFL, but you got to quickly, hey, forget about that game, and man, get ready for the next. As they
Yeah. Well,
say, have a short memory.
yeah, he's a class act.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, that ball could have bounced either way. And that last play as well. It went in the air.
Yep.
That's one of those, hey, you can't do nothing about.
Yeah, that was
You like
some
to have that ball back.
concentration there
Yeah.
too.
Oh, to
The
pull
guy
it
stuck
in.
his arm
Yeah.
out, the ball went up in the air, and the guy that caught it, he had some really good concentration there. He had to
Yep.
ski it to keep him going out of bounds. So it was a
Yep.
really good response on his part. Now, talking about we're talking about how Philly is a little not as doesn't look as strong this year. How about those Kansas City Chiefs? They they've been dominant, and of course, last year they scared a little bit, and this year they haven't looked much like the Chiefs. Any thoughts at all on the Chiefs, the Kansas City Chiefs?
Yeah, they're not looking good.
Um, yeah, I
You
know
know,
definitely.
they had a chance against the Texans, but I think it was Rice. He dropped the ball that would hit him right in the chest, and then Kelsey, I think he had two. Rice had, I think, two balls that he should have caught, and then Kelsey had a couple that he should have caught that would have really made a difference. So they're really struggling offensively, but they've been there before, so I guess you can't count them out. But I think they'll need some help to just get into the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely right now. 'Cause they definitely need some help. They may if they lose another game, I don't think they got a shot. It'd be. I don't think they can do it. I think they may be almost pretty much eliminated. Yes, they need a lot of help, which is, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Vegas putting on it, but it don't look too good. My
Yeah.
Vikings been gone, so we're not gonna talk about Minnesota. I'm done with.
Well,
I'm done with them. I'm done with them for for this year, man.
The next season, huh?
well, I was
Ready for next season. It's amazed me how a team can, from year to year, you just don't. It's no guarantee. Okay, or like the Eagles, they won it. Super Bowl ain't no guarantee. It's no guarantee they get in the playoffs. You just don't know. It just depends, man. It ain't like them old. What's the team with Brady was Patriots. I mean,
Patriots, yeah.
every year, man. I mean, it's just like folks are getting all mad. I said, "Why you get mad? Brady don't even have to run because he had a good line." But the
Yep.
Vikings, like you say, we was there. What messed up their playoff game. They got rid of the guy, Donald. I mean, he got them to do 12, 13 games in a row, for the Vikings. Then they didn't, in playoffs, they kind of sputtered. They didn't do what they should have done. I mean, he got there. Okay, let's go back. Recoup. Look at this thing another year. Don't send the guy away. Get rid of him. Then he over there in Seattle, and they killing it. I said, Seattle gonna probably be in the playoffs, and Vikings sure ain't gonna be in the playoffs. It's over, man. Donaldson went over there to Seattle. So
Yep.
I don't understand how they do stuff, man. The guy got you to the playoffs, and oh my God, man, just got had a bad game. Come on, let's come back. Look at it, next another year. So now you got this other cat, this young guy. What's his name? That was injured for one whole year. Kept I forgot this young kid, and look where they are right now. They done.
Yeah.
So hey, they back to the drawing board. Ain't no guarantees they gonna get what's gonna happen next year. So it's like Donaldson was a good, consistent player. He was winning for the Vikings, man. So that's why I was really, really disappointed. JJ McCarthy, the young cat. I'm not. I'm the jury's still out for me with him. I don't see him really taking the Vikings. Taking the Vikings far. I know they always say, "Oh, give them, give these young guys, give them a year, give them, normally they don't. But I'm saying what I thought was bad okay, this guy's been out for a year for injury. So during preseason, why didn't you give him some reps? Let him, dress out in preseason. He did nothing. It's only 3 preseason games. So when he first got in there, I think they played against the Bears. I'm not sure who it was. Man, he stunk, dude. I mean, they was killing him. Oh my God, he couldn't nowhere. He couldn't go nowhere. But I don't know. I don't think he's the guy for him. I think they blew it with Donaldson. So now the Vikings just gonna, hey, they're gonna struggle. I've been to that stadium, man, in Minnesota. It's beautiful. Thing is, it's huge, man. Yeah. But if
Well,
they
before
pack
I
it
got a
out, man,
couple
every
other
time they
teams.
faithful.
Hey,
Yeah.
L. Sanders, I want to make a comment on before we get off on the other teams, on the Chiefs and the Eagles. Like my coach used to say, baby, when you're winning, you're at the top of the flagpole, and everybody's and all your blank is exposed. They can see everything. Everybody looking up at you. So I said all that to say that, when you're at the top, teams, they coming in there to play their best game. They coming in there to get you. They coming in there extra fired up. That's kind of what happened with the Chiefs and the Eagles. Everybody's coming out to get you. They coming out to probably play their best game.
Yep.
And that's what happens in sports. When you number one, everybody coming to get you. And also wanted to say,
Yep.
based on I know you said, brother, you didn't understand why J.J. McCarthy, why they playing him. And you're right, quarterback from the Minnesota is over with the Seattle's. Right now, he's really doing it. But the reason why they're doing that is all about that money. He was a first-round draft choice, and they're paying him all that money, so they're not going to sit him down and give him all that money. He got to get. They're going to put him in there. He was the first-round draft choice. Number 5 or 6 pick when he came out. So
yeah.
So the Vikings are on the hook for that. On the hook for that money.
Yeah.
He getting paid, so they're gonna put him in there.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah, I got about 2 more teams I want to talk about, but before I get to that, I wanted to throw out the situation everybody's been talking about, Shedeur Sanders and the 2-point conversion where his coach pulled him out on Sunday. There's been a lot of controversy about that. So I was just wondering if you saw it. I just want to get your thoughts on it, Rob, as a former quarterback. What are your thoughts if you actually saw what happened with that?
My
I heard
thoughts
about
is
it.
my thoughts is on that. The coach don't want him to succeed. He number one is he should have been drafted in the first round, and there's no way that he should have been a fifth round draft choice. And he got an opportunity to play, and he did exactly, I'm sure, what his daddy told him to do. What I told my son when he was playing. When your number's called, you be ready. And you know what? He went out there, and I think he threw 4 touchdowns, and he really played, and he brought the team back. And there's no way in the world, Elder Sanders, that you take out your quarterback at the end of the game and put in a running back to run a trick play. And it just tells me that, they really didn't want him to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay.
I think the coach is getting a lot of heat, and he did say that he was going to start the rest of the season. But I'm really happy for him. because, you know, like he just said, hey, give me an opportunity. And he got his opportunity and he shined.
Yeah. Mark, welcome in. Welcome in. Mark from Virginia, welcome in. And we're talking NFL. We did a little sidebar. We were talking about the Shedeur Sanders situation on Sunday for anyone that saw it. His coach pulled him out. He was the starter, had a great game, over 300 yards, numerous touchdowns, and they were going for two, and the coach pulled them out. So I was just gonna see if anyone had any thoughts about that. Anyone else have any thoughts on that situation?
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I didn't see the game. So was that 2 point play? Is that a 1 point win
Well, the two
or
points
loss?
would have you all
Gave him a
correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the two points would have tied the game.
That's right.
And
The
they
okay,
2
put in
point.
the
okay.
backup quarterback to run the
So the
play.
backup. Okay, okay.
Oh,
Yeah, that
the
sounds.
backup really messed the play up. He was running
Mhm.
around like a chicken with a head cut off, you
How
know.
I
many?
can see the
What
game.
was? Yeah, what was the yardage to gains for the touchdown?
No,
Anyone remember the goal? It might have been about what, 5, 7 yards or something.
no, it actually what it was is they had scored the touchdown
Yeah,
and
they
they
was
was
going
Oh,
for
okay.
two.
So
Yeah,
going
and
for
they were
two
going
they,
for
and
two.
pulled him.
yeah,
Yeah.
they was going for the 2 point conversion because they was down by two.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that's
Oh,
been a lot of talk about that this week. I also want to hit on the Bears and the Packers, which I thought was, if you saw it, I thought it was a really pretty good game. The Bears actually had a chance to tie the game, and there was an interception there at the end. So, but the Bears, I think both the Bears and the Packers are looking pretty good this year. Any thoughts on that before we move on the Bears and the Packers? Did anyone see that particular game?
I didn't I didn't see the game.
Maybe the highlights.
Saw some of the highlights and like the quarterback for the like Jordan Love threw a couple touchdowns and I tell you that division right there, the North Division in the NFC, that's a tough one because you got the Bears, the Packers. I think the Packers are 8-3-1. I think the Bears are 9-4 now, and then you got the Detroit, who is 7-5, and they got to play each other over the next couple of weeks. So it's going to be real interesting.
Yeah. And then before I move on, most of us on here are local here in the Phoenix area. Any thoughts on our Phoenix Cardinals? Went down 45-17 to the Rams on Sunday, and there's a lot of speculation that Tyler
Murray.
Murray will not be back next year. Anyone have any thoughts on our Cardinals?
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Yeah, I guess there's not a lot to talk about when it comes to the Cardinals.
Well,
They
I'm gonna say something, Elder Sanders.
okay.
Yeah, I think the Cardinals they started off the season, and at the beginning of the year they was basically in every game, and they lost a lot of games. I would say 3 games. They were winning in the fourth quarter, and they got beat by a touchdown or a field goal, and you lose 4 or 5 games like that. It kind of take. I think it took a lot of out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, my good friend from back east. Now, Mark, you're in Virginia, is that right? See if
I'm
he
in
has any.
Maryland, but we consider it
Maryland, no,
the
Maryland.
DC
So
the DC
are you
area.
a Baltimore Moore fan?
I'm a I'm a Commanders fan.
Commanders.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Washington.
Well,
Yes.
I think their quarterback going down was certainly a deficit for them this year. But
Indeed.
I'm sorry.
I was agreeing with you. I was like, indeed.
Yeah, yeah. Well, looking at the standings, we have the Eagles 8-5, and the Cowboys are right behind at 6-6. So there's still some possibilities over in the NFC East, and then in the North we have the Bears and the Packers right there. Of course, the Packers had the tie with the Cowboys earlier in the year, so they have one tie, but they're neck and neck, and that is an interesting conference because you also have Detroit,
That's right.
which really played a pretty good game against Dallas. And
Yeah,
Rob,
sure
I
did.
think that goes back to what you were saying. It's hard to beat uh, especially a desperate team or a team that you played before. I know they haven't played before this year, but Detroit was actually were going to be in a very difficult situation if they lost against Dallas. So they pulled it out. Uh, the Buccaneers are still in the lead in the NFC South, and they are tied with the Panthers, both at 7-6. The Falcons and the Saints, I don't know if there's much hope for them this year. And then in the West, we have the Rams who beat up on our Cardinals. They're leading away, but right behind, and then in the we have the Patriots at 11-2, the Bills at 9-4, and the Dolphins have been playing pretty good ball here lately as well. And then the Steelers, 7-6. The Ravens, Action Jackson and his team. So it's gonna, and then going over to the South, we have Jacksonville and Houston, 9-4, 8-5. So it's gonna be pretty interesting. Anyone have any predictions maybe on uh any teams that you think is gonna be difficult to beat heading into the playoffs here in a few weeks? Okay.
I
Yes,
think that,
Rob.
yeah, you got some teams that started off that I don't think many people expected them to be where they're at, and that was New England. I don't think too many people expected them to be at the top of their division. And a lot of people think everybody thought Buffalo was going to be leading their division. And also, the Indianapolis Colts started off 11-2. I think they lost 3 in a row. But it's the one thing about football is always, being healthy. And I think the Colts lost their starting quarterback, Daniel Jones, who came over from the Giants. And then they got their second string quarterback is hurt. I don't know if any of you heard, they just signed a 45-year-old quarterback, used to play with the Chargers, Philip Rivers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah, and so he's in camp right now. So he might be starting on starting on Sunday.
Wow.
So, but I think Elder Sanders that the teams that I'm looking for, like people were surprised with the Bears, but teams I'm looking for in the playoffs is teams that's been there, and I'm looking at the Rams. They won a Super Bowl a couple years ago. They're hungry, and you got Buffalo. They've been getting to that championship game almost every year and getting knocked off by Kansas City. They've been there, just haven't been able to close it. So teams like that's been there. Detroit went a long ways last year. I know they're 7-5. They're 7 I think 8-5 right now. But you got to watch them because when they get to the playoffs, it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah,
Everybody,
right.
everybody's 0-0.
Yeah.
So
Now,
I'm looking at.
what are your thoughts on the Eagles? So I have a good friend that might hear this. he and his wife are big Eagle fans. So what are your thoughts on the Eagles?
Oh, you got an Eagle fan that's on the line?
He's not on tonight, but I
Oh,
know he's probably going to hit. Like there's a good chance he'll hear watch the video.
oh yeah. Well, I think the Eagles as a team, like I said, it's the NFL. In the NFL, hey, they're all pros, and
That's right.
those guys last night, the Eagles, when it come playoff time, I think they're gonna be there because they they've been there.
Yeah.
They won a Super Bowl. When it come down to it and it come down to money time, I think the Eagles going to be right there in the playoffs.
Okay. Well, I'm wearing a Sooner hat tonight because the Sooners are my college team, but I got to speak up for my Cowboys when it comes to
Hmm.
the NFL. I think if they put it all together, Pickens and CD Lamb, if they're clicking, matter of fact, they won. I think they won about three in a row. They beat Kansas City, they beat Philly, and someone else. And they had a chance. They actually had a chance with Detroit, I thought.
Yeah.
CD Lamb went out late in the game. And then there was a questionable call as well late in the game, too. So I got my eyes on my Cowboys for sure. Well, any other thoughts on the NFL before we move? We want to talk a little bit in our in the minutes that we have left. We want to talk a little bit of NBA. But are there any final thoughts on the NFL before we move on to the NBA?
Yeah, Sanders, I want the Washington Commando fan. I want them to speak a little bit. I really enjoyed watching last year. Him to tell me a little bit if you think they're going to bounce back next year, and I was going for next year, and what the future looked like for them.
That's a great question. And injuries plagued the second year quarterback Jaden Daniels, and then our top receiver, number 17, McLaurin, was out as well. So
Right.
I believe that this season is definitely not going to be as successful as last season. And I believe that if we have a healthy quarterback and receiver and a good running back, that'll take care of the offense. But candidly, like, we were just shut out 31-0 by Minnesota on Sunday.
Oh no.
So we got to strengthen the defense. We can't stop anybody. So even if the offense is clicking, you still have to be able to stop somebody from scoring. So
That's right.
we'll see how we'll just see if they get their confidence. They're not playing with the same level of confidence that they did last year. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, I think they're going to be all right, like you said, and you talked about what I talked about, being healthy. And I know the receiver that's out, boy, he was dynamite last year.
For sure.
Right. Any final thoughts on the NFL? If not, we'll move
I
on
got
to.
Elder.
Did you have a comment?
Yeah, Elder. I just say, it's year to year, man. You expect your team to always, rise to the occasion. Then when they, lay a goose egg, just proud to the year, getting in the playoffs. And the next year is just like, you're like, what is going on? You would think, man, the players, these guys, getting paid. You're like, hey, man, I'm gonna be on my A game. Hey, why do I don't get it sometimes with some of these. You have a great record one year, then the next year, you come and just lay a goose egg, man. You lose games left and right, and just like I don't know, I don't get it. Just seem like some games they show up, some games they don't show up. I guess I never figured that one out, man. Because if that's me in the NFL, if I'm like, hey, want to be at the top of my game and I want to win, Name of the game. I want to win all the time.
Yeah, certainly agree. Well, we're gonna move on to the NBA, and I have to brag on my Thunder. If you don't know, I used to live in Oklahoma City, so that's why I'm a big Sooner fan, and I actually was a big Thunder fan back when Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook and they had the big three, and I was a big fan then. I was disappointed they never won a championship. But this team, in my opinion, is something special. They're setting at 23-1. They seem to be very unselfish, very well connected to one another. And I enjoy watching them play because they play the inside game, the outside game. They're not really one. I know they do have one what's his name? Uh have the long name. I forgot his name. But he's
Oh, you're talking about
the
the
big
Gil,
superstar on the team.
yeah,
But they
Gildress
all they're
Alexander, right?
Alexander, yeah, Shea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Shea
Shea
Gildress.
is considered the superstar, but there's no focus on Shea. If somebody open, they'll shoot it and they make it. And then their
Yeah.
bench is very strong as well.
Yeah.
They didn't have Shea the other night. They were playing Utah, and they just took Utah apart. I think they beat them by 30 points. You know, so but they're sitting at 23-1 right now. And then in the Eastern Conference, you have the Lakers. Maybe this is the Western Conference. You have the Lakers
Yeah.
at
Weston.
17-6, the Nuggets at 17-6. So now anything could happen. That's not a big margin if you lose 3 or 4 in a row. They're right there on you. But and then in the Eastern, we have the Pistons. They're playing some. What a major turnaround for them! I remember about 2 years ago, they had a record low number of losses for the year. And then the Knicks set in at 16-7, the Celtics 15-9. So you got all the way down through 9 and 10. It's pretty close over in the Eastern Conference. Anyone have any thoughts on maybe you have a team in the NBA you would like to talk about for a moment?
My Western Cup, my Golden State Warriors. Be looking out for them. We coming.
Yeah,
Steph, we coming.
I'm,
Great Mom, we coming.
I'm a,
Yeah, they're
even
sitting at
though
13-12 right now, which is they're a little bit back, but certainly in position to make the playoffs. I mean, the playoffs are quite a ways away.
Oh
So,
yeah.
and I think they had some injuries too.
Yeah, Steph is that. Yeah, Steph has had an injury. Yeah. So, the next man step up, man. So we're gonna see. I think they're gonna make a charge. Get these
But I
guys
can't
back
forget
healthy.
our Phoenix Suns. They're sitting right above the Warriors at 14-10,
Yep.
and they're playing pretty good this year as well. That seemed to have been a good trade that they made.
Oh yeah.
Any other teams that someone want to share anything about?
Oh, you said the Lakers was what's their record?
The Lakers are 17-6. They're right behind the Thunder over in the Western Conference.
Yeah, I know LeBron didn't start off playing, but I think he's playing now. But
Yeah, he's playing.
okay. I do want to make a comment about your Oklahoma team, Elder Sanders. I want to say I didn't follow them until last year to the playoffs, and just everything you said, I agree with you. I was really impressed with them. They really play team ball, and even though I don't know the guy's name, I guess they call him SGA.
Yeah, yeah, SGA.
Yeah. He's a real, like you said, unselfish, And when I saw him play, the team play in the championship last year, they really played team ball, and
Yeah.
so I'm really impressed with him. I was asking my son last year, "Hey, where did all those guys come from?" He says, "Hey, Dad, you remember when the Thunder had Paul George and they traded him to the Clippers, and the Clippers gave up all those draft picks." And he said through the years they drafted all those guys, and so they didn't get their team from trades from other teams. Those were draft picks. So the general manager did a pretty good job by putting that team together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any thoughts on NBA? Well, I will say that, the Thunder to me is probably one of the most exciting teams to watch. Um, I know the Lakers have several of their top players out, James, and so we'll see what happens there. Well, as we begin to close out tonight, I'm gonna just talk a little bit of golf before we close things out. Rob, I know you're a golfer. Mark, are you a golfer as well? I think you are.
I've been a repeated lessons person. I'm on my third time taking lessons, so hopefully now that I've retired, I'll be able to take up the game a little bit more.
Well, when you come back out here to Arizona, we'll have to we myself, Rob, well, matter of fact, we're going out tomorrow with several other people, and sometimes Lee joins us, and Kenny have been out with us, but we'll have to get you out next time you're out here in Arizona.
Indeed.
But Scotty Schaefer is still playing extremely well. Rob, he's sitting at number one in the world uh, rankings, and then Rory McIlroy is coming in at number two. Tommy Fleetwood as well. That was a tournament this weekend, and Scotty came in. I think he tied for fourth uh, as well. Well, as we begin to close down, are there any comments on golf or any other sports we might have missed tonight? This is your chance to chime in.
So I haven't really followed or watched anything, but what's happening with Tiger Woods kid out there?
Well, I know Tiger was on his way back, and I think he had another setback
Oh, okay.
with his back.
Mhm.
That's the last I heard.
Yeah, his son. I know you asked about his son.
Yeah.
Yeah, he won a tournament about a month or so ago that he played in. So he's doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Charlie.
Charlie. That's right. Yeah. So he's hanging in there.
Yeah. Well, are there any final comments before we get ready to close it down tonight?
Hey, I want to say that I enjoyed it. Talking sports and with the men that was on the line today. So I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I
Same
hope
here.
you all will
Yeah.
come back. Let's do it again. Maybe pre-playoffs, and maybe after the playoff we can come together. And I know I enjoyed it as well. I want to thank each of you that joined us tonight. Darian, I think you're on as well. Thank you. Mark, thank you for joining us from Maryland. I know it's a little bit later there tonight. Lee, and everyone that's on tonight, thank you for coming on. And you can contact me at the email address on the screen if you want to know more information or have any comments. Also, you can connect with me on the Abundant Empowerment Facebook group page. Go there and you can join us on there. And then we have a YouTube channel in the search box. If you just want to type in the Abundant Empowerment Exchange, it will bring up all of our videos. We have a number of videos in regards to Hurricane Katrina, 911. We have just about various subjects that we have. Again, I want to thank all of my special guests that are on this evening, and each of you have a blessed evening.
Gil,